of RAM, which apparently allows it to run smoothly. It still says waiting. Hold up now. What's going on here, YouTube? It says live. OBS says I'm live. But that doesn't say. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're live. Oh, shut up, little baby laptop. There we go. So, we're not using live time. Well, Flight Simulator X doesn't really have live time, but just using time that I wanted to, because it might be night right now, but it's early morning, so it'll inevitably become day, because I actually want to do a daytime landing, because a lot of my landings have been, like, late at night, because I always start my streams late at night. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start getting out of here, or go ahead and... Also, I'm still a bit rusty. That's my excuse for everything, but I don't fly generally unless I'm streaming. At least on this game. I started the gen first. Also, I am no professional at flight simulation or flight simulating at all. I just kind of do it for fun. Now, my audience retention rate just went pew, pew. But anyways, that's fine. I think I was doing something. Let's get air traffic control. Yeah, that's default Flight Simulator X air traffic control. No fancy, like, I don't know, iVal, what's the other one? VATSIM. Not doing any of that. Default, awful sounding Robot Man, which I don't have sound for, and you probably... Hey, second viewer, welcome! Please say something in chat if you are real. I never know if second viewer in the chat is real. Climb, maintain 9,000, squawk... Okay, yep. That seems all fairly standard to me. Yep, acknowledge. I need to figure out why my sound is not working. So I changed some configuration edits and stuff to make the flight simulator not crash as often. Watch, it's going to crash. I have a feeling it is going to crash. Okay, now we got some... Well, now my engine sounds are gone. Oh, well. Oh. Do I have sound? I have no clue. Let's go ahead and... I don't know what I'm going to do. Contact ground, that's probably what I should do. Again, second viewer, if you did not know, I do not take flight simulating seriously, really, especially... If I'm flying new Microsoft Flight Simulator, I take it a bit more seriously, but this is FSX. If you take FSX too seriously, you're going to end up getting mad, trust me. Because, oh boy, that's a taxiway. You'd probably get it, JFK, ain't it? I'm not getting any sound now, which is fun. Oh, Flight Simulator X, you are fantastic. You are just absolutely fantastic. What? I don't know why. Oh. I had it on my microphone for some reason. I don't even know why that's an option. I'm probably... Oh gosh, be quiet. I can't make them any quieter. Because on the stream it sounds really quiet, but on here it doesn't. Anyways, get the gate out of the way. We'll push back shortly. Just kind of started the stream and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of things wrong, because normally I have like a ton of time. Do I have my checklist anywhere? I do not. Oh well. Yeah, generally I have a ton of time to prepare and just get ready for a stream. I don't have time to get... I just kind of started. I was like, oh, I need something, because I'm going to be gone for the week, and, you know. If you're wondering about my setup, I got basic graphics card, basic CPU, that is not meant for Flight Simulator X at all. It's like... I think it's a quad core, and Flight Simulator X runs very well on a single core, apparently. I've learned, so... Yeah, not really particularly great for me. Anyways, we're pushing back from the gate now. We are flying Orbit Airlines today. Oh wow, there's 0 viewers. We are flying Orbit Airlines today. Nothing too particularly insane here. I'm worried about taxiways because, oh, it's JFK. Though JFK honestly isn't that insane. If you want like an insane taxiway airport, I don't know. I was about to say like some big airport that have like a stupid amount of taxiways, but I don't know. I mean, I know like maybe Denver. I know Denver has a ton of runways because it's American. And for some reason, American airports, they really like to have like 20 million runways for some reason. Because we're American, I guess. You know, it's gotta have 20 million runways or it's not American. It's funny, because, like, if you go to, like, any airport off in, like, Britain, it might have, like, what, like, 4 runways tops. If it has any more than 4 runways, it's just a waste. Hey, I remember to put my mixture on me. Are you happy? I'm gonna stop that pushback there. Alright, set parking brake. Also, I randomly have 2 viewers again. I don't know. Are they real? Are they fake? I have no idea. Let's get taxi lights on. Please say something in chat if you're real. One of 2 viewers. Question mark viewers. Like, is one of the viewers me? I don't know. I think that's RTO. Gotta go to the 2D cockpit to actually see. If it actually... Yes, that is RTO. Okay. Also, taxi light does nothing. For light. Like, nothing at all. Like, it doesn't turn anything on because this is a buggy simulator, so... Gonna turn on the landing light so I can actually see. Please don't bully me. It's just how Flight Simulator X is for some reason. To ask whoever made the simulator of that. Fast seatbelt signs on. Smoking sign can stay off because... yeah. Anyway, second engine on. We're starting. I guess. Do not take simulating that seriously. I know enough to fly an airplane. And, that's really all. I really don't take it too seriously. While we're here on the ground, let's get ATIS information. Oh gosh, I don't know how loud that is on the room, and I don't want to blast the speaker. Wait, do I have my... I don't. Oh, well. I was going to plug in some, like, dollar store earbuds to see if I could... Alright, altimeter... Oh, it was already set. How handy. Alright, shut up. Probably should down, actually. So, also, since I am not a professional, if I was actually intelligent, I would have gotten me a airport chart, but I'm not, so we will be using the wonderful thing that is known as progressive taxi when we go that way. Again, this is just ruining my flight simulation street cred, which is 0. I mean, like, I doubt anybody actually watches me. I mean, my Around the World video, which is awful, do not watch. Well, my first Around the World video is awful, but that one got like 100 views. I'm like, why? Why did this video get 100 views? But apparently YouTube was just like, yes, this video will get 100 views. I don't know. It's at like 98 views now. If you want to go back and make it 100 views so I feel cool or something, you do it. Alright, so November Charlie, Alpha Charlie 0. Okay. Time to find all those. Okay, so there's Alpha down there. So that's where we're going. If I was smart, I would have gotten me a chart to actually... Oh, probably could turn off the APU. That isn't really necessary, and turn on 2 generators. Magical progressive taxi. Which way do I go? I go that way. Like, these are things that in real life you would get a airport chart of the airport and, you know, figure all that out. Also, flight control test. You would do that in real life, but this is Flight Simulator X. You can't actually... I mean, I could go to, like, third person and do flight control tests, but... Also, I forgot. But, again, if you take Flight Simulator X too seriously, you're just gonna not have fun. I left the start valve open. Little rusty. We'll make it. We'll make it. Alright, now we're looking for Charlie, so we'll just keep going forward. But... What was I talking about? What was I talking about? I don't know. I have 0 idea of what I was talking about. No clue at all what I was talking about. Yeah. I guess I should explain to my 2 question mark viewers. Time is not live because it looks dark, and it is dark probably at New York, but it's at like, I think it's at like 5:30 or something in the morning. Oh, okay, explain to my 1 viewer. So it's like 5:30 in the morning now, so yeah. Anyways, I cannot remember what I was talking about. It's probably a problem. It most certainly is a problem that I cannot remember a single thing of what I was talking about. It's great for being a YouTuber because you can just infinitely talk about anything you want to and never get bored. So, yeah. There's November. We just keep going forward. Straight down Alpha. Oh, okay. Now I have 0 viewers. Alpha goes that way, apparently. There's Quebec down there. I feel extremely lost at this airport right now. Wait a second. Wait a second, wait, where am I? Where am I? Ah. Progressive taxi! Progressive taxi! There we go. Saved by, oh wait. But Bravo isn't, what taxiway is this? Is this Alpha? Is that for up there? I am so bad. 2 viewers have returned! If only are these 2 different people? Or are they the same people? I don't know. Live streaming on YouTube is weird. Like, I feel like if it was Twitch, I'd be like, yeah, I'm confident. I know these 2 people are real, but this is YouTube, man. There's no walls here at YouTube. Also, my frame rate I'm getting is pretty dang good. So, apparently, I've changed some stuff in the config things to apparently get the simulator to be a bit more stable. I downloaded like a 4 GB patch as well to see if that will help me out at all. I don't know if it will help me because Flight Simulator X is a 15, almost 16-year-old game running on modern software. Like, this game was designed for, like, I don't know, Windows XP or something. I think Windows 7 probably, but like, it's an old game. Like, it's not going to be stable no matter how hard you try. Okay. It's so bad because I always get horrified whenever I don't have Progressive Taxi. Because, I don't know, I'm just that kind of simulator, I guess. Like, simulator, or I don't know. Because I just get nervous without it. Because, yeah, you know, I need it to where I'm going. It's bad. I need to learn how to actually do that, and I also probably should learn to prepare for these streams and get like an airport chart, or maybe even just route out the taxiways that I need to go on like a piece of paper or something, you know? That would probably be handy. Also, to anybody that knows the 737, might be like, why are the fuel pumps not on? That kind of seems like a silly thing not to have the fuel pumps on. I don't want to be listening to this for the entirety of the stream, so I'm just going to turn that off. And by the way, all airplanes have that. So like, if it's like a Cessna, it'll have that sound. It's just awful. I don't know like who the Flight Simulator X sound designer was, but yeah. Like, it would be so much better if it was just even quieted. Like, it was just like a or something, but or just a or just like a buzz or something. But no, it makes that awful gurgling sound all the time. It's way too loud. So I just have it off constantly. It seems like the right thing to do. Probably going to put it on autopilot immediately. Actually, I could buy my hand fly to like 10,000. That's what I generally like to do, because by 10,000 feet, everything is basically figured out. You're pretty comfortable. Why are there so many taxiways here? I'm scared. So here's Kilo, taxiway Kilo, which makes me think that Charlie is coming up sooner rather than late, or Juliet, not Charlie. I think I've been calling it Charlie this entire time. Wait. I'm on Charlie now. What? What? Am I on Charlie? Am I not on Charlie? Where am I? Oh, I guess I am on Charlie, but it has Zulu up there. Progressive taxi? Alright, I'm going the right way. Like, any normal live streamer would be, or any flight simulator, serious flight simulator person would be like, use Progressive Taxi? I'm not experienced enough to actually not use Progressive Taxi. I just ain't. Alright. Here we are crossing the runway. In Flight Simulator X, you cannot request runway crossing, so we're just gonna say, Mr. Tower Man, or I'm allowed to cross. And they'd probably yell at me saying I took a wrong taxiway or I'm taxiing too fast, and they'd be like, okay. And then I crossed the runway anyways, so, you know. It's 13 degrees Celsius. I guess that would make sense because it's like, what?
Kennedy Ground, World Travel Diner, Port 6 with Mike, ready to taxi IFR.
I'd say you just look both ways. That's what you do. You just look both ways like you're crossing the road. That's what you do. So we're looking for a taxiway Zulu. Which, what's that up there? That's taxiway Yankee. I don't know where. Oh.
World Travel Diner, Port 6.
I wish I could get like a more realistic sounding. What am I saying? More realistic sounding air traffic control person. Like I mean I know they're not crystal clear, but they definitely sound like a robot. They sound a lot like a robot here. Same goes modern new Microsoft Flight Simulator, or I don't even know what it's called. Do we really want to call it Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020? Because I feel like that's just a curse to call it anything 2020. Alright, so there's Taxiway Zulu. Alright, now, I had a feeling I was turning that way. Alright, slow it down. Alright, my viewers went down to 1. Also, up and now my viewers left completely. I have no idea what is going on there. I don't even know what taxi line, what runway I'm meant to be taking off of. Is it 3-1 left? It might very well be 3-1 left. I'm hoping it's 3-1 left. It has to be 3-1 left. Correct? Yes. In real life, you'd write all this down on a piece of paper. But I'm not, this is not real life. So I don't. It's great.
Tower, orbit 271, ready to go. Runway 31 left.
Ready to go.
Miami. Orbit 271, cleared for takeoff. Runway
Alright, clear for takeoff. Let's just flick the landing lights on. Again. Acknowledge takeoff clearance.
Cleared for
There.
takeoff. Runway 31 left. Orbit 271.
And we are looking good, so I'll go ahead and start the chronometer before I forget. I always forget to start the chronometer. It's extraordinarily annoying. I'm like, gosh. The funny thing is, I don't know how bad this looks to normal people. Because, like, this game running at, like, 13 frames per second to most people probably looks absolutely horrendous. Oh, wow, Kennedy actually looks pretty good from here, doesn't it? Anyways, and, heavy air quotes Toga. I don't actually know what Toga power would be. I know Toga power is basically 100% thrust, but I don't think Toga power is 100% thrust. Anyways, airspeed is left. There's 80 knots. Headphone wires are in the way. There's 100 knots. And go ahead and call that V1. Rotate. Rotate. Alright, there's positive brake. Bring gear up. Bring power just a little bit back. On the throttle. Arm speed on.
Orbit 271. Contact New York departure on.
Now, I'm not flying a proper departure either, which, again, real life simulators or simulator people are probably going to murder me for doing that. But I'm not. I'm just simply flying standard, no fancy mess like that. Pops up. New York departure. This is why I haven't. I think FSX can actually have shared call, which would be very handy for doing like brakes are on calls. You're good now.
Turn left, heading 075. Orbit 271, New York departure. Roger.
Altimeter 3001. Alright.
Orbit 271. Turn left.
Yes, I know. You don't even need to tell me. The funny thing is, third viewer. I know third viewer is real. Hello, third viewer. Oh, hello. Yes, hello, third viewer. Thank you. Hello. I know third viewer is always real. Alright. That just proves it. Third viewer is in fact real. Oh wow, it's foggy over here in New York, ain't it? Pretty low clouds, and my descent rate has decreased and is still decreasing. Come on back up.
Orbit 271. turn left, heading
You know, you don't need to keep telling me the turn. Game's a little loud, can't hear you very good. Alright, I'll modify that in a moment. I don't know how loud that is, but I'll modify that in a moment. Thank you for that.
turn left, heading
Because I can't really
10,
hear
orbit
the stream because it just goes in a feedback loop, and that's not very good. So once I get on a path, I'll just go ahead and turn everything on now, actually. Airplane's basically going to fly itself now. I need to figure that out. Let me see if I can figure that out. I do not want to crash the game. So I'm going to
Orbit
exit.
271, please expedite your turn to heading
Shut up.
100.
So if I can just get OBS to turn on here. Yeah, I see that. Alright, bring that down to about there. Alright. Please tell me if that's any better. It should be a bit quieter now. Hopefully. Should be a bit quieter. And the chances of the game crashing went pew right up, but that's fine. Because anytime you tab out on this game, there's just a... Shut up! The plane's gonna turn on its own once it... There you go! Turn 100. Turn 30. Welcome to Flight Simulator Extreme Edition, boys. That's Flight Simulator Extreme Edition for you. It's like, turn this way. Okay, now you're gonna turn that way. But, again, new Microsoft Flight Simulator has the exact same word is buffer. It's the exact same brain. Come on. Find the word. Air traffic control system. It has the exact same air traffic control system. Let me see if I can find some headphones really quick that I can just listen to it through my... Alright, audio's probably gonna go a bit weird for me because I'm taking... Oh gosh, I need to acknowledge. Okay, there. I have acknowledged handoff. So whenever if I'm... Oh wow, you're just talking for a long time. I can't hear anything right now because I took my headphones off. There you go. Let's see here. How bad does this sound? If you're listening to it through headphones, it probably sounds a bit better. I'm assuming it sounds a bit better through headphones, but through just laptop speakers, it sounds pretty bad, but that's just kind of how laptop speakers are. And that, by the way, that was on full volume, so not great. Oh no. Okay, well I gotta put that back down, or they'll just yell at me saying, you need to descend to 9,000 feet, even though we're going to immediately tell you to go back up. Oh, the limits of 2006 game. Why are you telling me? Okay, well, this is standard. You know, I would really appreciate being able to go to a higher altitude right now. Flight Simulator X? Just don't tell me to go to another place. Thank you. Alright, 14,000. Thank you. My passengers are probably like, what's going on? Why'd the plane randomly level out? Again, if you don't level out like that, they will yell at you and just tell you, you need to descend back to 9,000 feet. You need to descend to 9,000 feet, man. It's really annoying. And the very second you get back to 9,000, they're just going to be like, okay, go back up. Alright, well, get taxi lights off. We're basically at 10,000, so landing lights can come off. Logo, yep. I never turn the strobes back on or logo because I am a professional pilot. And now we wait. This is my life for the next 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Pretty long flight, but it'll eventually be getting day, and that'll probably not be very boring. Again, this is not live time at all, because I cannot stream early in the day, because if I do, I will sound like this, and I just talk like this, and like my energy is just nothing in the beginning. Like, up until about 7:30, I'm just dead sounding. Which is a problem because peak audience is like, you know, at like, probably I would have to assume that at like 1. So, pretty poor problem. Well, ain't that pretty looking. It probably disintegrates, yeah. This is as much zoom as I can have. There's a little zoom. Not bad looking for a 16-year-old game, is it? Not bad looking at all. Not too shabby. It's definitely very shabby, but it's not too shabby. Never hear that said, really. Going through a cloud now, that's going to be interesting. It's not, because the cloud disintegrates! Welcome to Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. The most realistic flight simulation of 2005. Came out in 2006, but I'm sure it was would have been very impressive in 2005. I probably should have decreased the amount of traffic. Once we get out of the JFK, New York area, we'll see a bit less traffic, but while we're here, we're just going to have a ton of traffic. Which is not really what I would have preferred to have, because it's really bad for audio, because you just hear people talking over you constantly. It's a bit of an annoying thing, but it's okay. You know, if I was a good live streamer, I would actually get like a chart or something that I could write down like stuff to talk about on. Hey, can't talk. Thank you. You know, I'd honestly love to try out whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called, like VatSim or something like that. VatSim. What's the other one called? iVal, yeah, iVal or VatSim, because both of those have like some, you know, most realistic air traffic control you can get in a simulator, basically, next to talking to a real air traffic control person. We call air traffic control man, person, I don't know. But like, probably the most realistic conversation you can have in a video game. So, you know, well, ain't that pretty? Yeah, very pretty for like a 16-year-old game. It's very pretty. I feel like OBS is recording at 60 frames per second right now. I am still in a fairly large city area, but generally OBS, because I have OBS record at like 24 frames per second, because any higher than that is extremely unnecessary. Because any higher than 24 frames per second, you're not going to miss much more, because, well, this is your video. This is what you'll be watching for who knows how many hours. You ain't going to miss much, especially because it's mainly just me talking to myself, so you're not missing too terribly much. So, yeah. I really would like to get a better 737, but firstly, Flight Simulator X, it's a very old simulator now. Like, if I were to get a better 737, like, what is it, PMDG, Flight something, 737, it would probably, I'd probably get it for X-Plane, or whenever the new one comes out for new Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't even have X-Plane 11 yet. I've heard good things about it. I've tested out the demo, and I was extraordinarily impressed, though recording it doesn't really work. Streaming Flight Simulator X makes even less sense, because streaming requires a lot of CPU power, and Flight Simulator X requires excessive CPU power. Mainly in one core, because for some reason people in 2006 said single core processors. They're going to be the next big thing. We're going to make our game perfectly adequate to fit them, and then single core processors are like just died off immediately afterwards. Which is I'm sure it's extremely hard to actually get Flight Simulator X to run at 60 frames per second. I feel like it'd be extremely hard to get it to run at that high frame rate. So I'm gonna quickly get some better headphones so I can hear how my stream sounds instead of through laptop speakers, because laptop speakers is not accurate. I will return momentarily. Probably actually still hear me. I don't know how far, oh, crossfire. Oh, that's not good. So I will return momentarily. Just need to grab some of these. Oh, gosh. No. Oh, wow. Why is there so many tangles? Oh, goodness. It's whatever. Plug it into the awful baby laptop. Headphone jack. Let's see. So what we got? Static. That's what we got. Oh, I had it. I had it. Audio? Okay. Great, now I just hear myself from like 30 feet away. You can barely. Oh yeah, that sounds... Yeah. That sounds actually perfectly fine. That sounds perfectly acceptable, okay. Alright, I have returned. Oh, I need my actual hearing devices. So I said this in the last stream, but my actual headphones broke. So instead of using or buying a new set, I'm using some cheap earbuds. Oh, I hit the microphone. I'm using some cheap earbud earbud headphones things to hear the game, and then using the headset that I have to record the audio, because the microphone in this thing paired up with OBS, and because without OBS it has a very faint and it just never goes away. But paired up with OBS, and it gets rid of that completely. It's actually great because I can actually have. Wait, are you talking? Are you? Yeah, you're talking over there. Be quiet. But yeah, OBS completely removes all form of the little static sound. So it's a great microphone. It's like some cheap these headphones were actually cheap, but they did ever actually die on me. What died on me was the cable, because it has like whatever it's called. It has like a weird connector thing where it has like I don't know if you know of the YouTuber, but there's a YouTuber called Dankbots. I think it was like, do headsets sound good or something. That video, he basically had one of my headsets that I have right here, but it was in blue. It's basically the exact same guts, just in a different thing. So, you want to see what headphone I use for the microphone? That's what you can watch, I guess. He's a great YouTuber. Anyways, have I I really wish Flight Simulator X told you to gain altitude like a bit earlier, because it's quite infuriating. It's live over there, it is, but it's not really close to being live. Alright, skip forward 5 seconds, there we go. Now it's air quotes live, according to YouTube. Zoom out a little bit here. Yep, that's our flight. It's not the longest flight I've ever taken in Flight Simulator X. Definitely taken longer flights, but it's alright. I might have miscalculated for fuel, though. I need to turn you to standard. Might have miscalculated for fuel. Because fuel, it's looking a bit lower than I'd like it to be. And the power the engines are using is only going to really go up. Immediately off topic, but my Flight Simulator, okay, get on a path brain. The A320 in the Flight Simulator, the A321 in this Flight Simulator is actually really, really good. And I have a stick that I'd like to use with. So next stream, no guarantees, might be on a A320, which is very nice because the A320 is such a different thing. The problem is, my Flight Simulator yoke thing's a little bit broken. It's a little bit broken because I was an idiot and I was like, I'm gonna take this thing apart and just see see how the thing works, which was an idiotic decision by me. It still works. The entire stick part still works, but I think it's meant to be throttle or trim. It's a Logitech Attack 3, I think it is, but I use it as a trim, but I think it's meant to be like a throttle. It has a little gear, and when I took it apart, the gears moved, it shifted, and then it got desynced, and now it's not on. It's not on the same thing anymore, so it's a little annoying. So, like, it can still be used a little bit, but I might just deactivate it entirely. Because I use my big CH Products Flight Sim yoke as a throttle quadrant whenever I'm using the stick, which is actually really cool, because, especially for flying 2-engined airplanes, because the throttle and mixture can act as 2, basically. If you pair it to do all that, of course, or change the keybinds to do it all that. I could not stand watching me for more than 5 minutes. I apparently have heavy air quotes 2 viewers, but I don't know if that's real or not. It could be real. I could have 2 people watching, but I highly doubt that I have 2 people watching. Because I heavily doubt I have 2 people watching. I might have 1 person watching, but I doubt 2. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything I could talk about, but I really have no idea. My last stream, the stream that I tried to fly around the world in, that was interesting, I guess you could say. Because flying around the world in a flight simulator, I know mentally I can do it, but I don't honestly think the game can do it. I do not think this flight simulator can actually fly around the world. I think it just has. I don't think it has enough. Oh wow, the baby laptop is about to die on battery because I haven't charged it. Oh no. I need to. I will return. I can keep the headphones on, but I can't keep the hearing bud bit things on. Baby laptop charger. Oh gosh, the power supplies come off. Where's the... Where? Where is the... Are you it? Oh gosh, it wants me to contact Washington Center. Wait, what? But... Oh, no, you're not it. Okay. Yes, contact Washington Center. I will do that momentarily. So, my intention is, whenever I get across the Atlantic, whenever I probably go to sleep, because I cannot stay awake for, like, 39 hours, whenever I'm flying around the world, or if I decide to fly around the world again. Thing is, like, everybody's seen this. Like, the first one got, like, 100 views, which is not a lot. That's very, very little in YouTube existence, but you know, 100 views for me, that's like, wow. And technically, that was my first video. Technically, according to YouTube and stuff, that was my first video, so I got some god-tier algorithm luck there. Because, oh, I need my hearing cheap dollar store earbud things. Here we go. So I can actually hear. Oh, so they don't have left and right put on them, so instead, did we just hit turbulence? Wow. It's almost like... I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's almost like this is real life. Oh, no, it just... Yeah, I have not hit turbulence in this game in who knows how long. I don't think it exists anymore, to be honest. Alright. And as I hit my top of climb, we turn. Alright, airplane, no resting. Them engines are going straight up to 190 knots. Yep, this is life. So, to my knowledge, I don't know. So my intention is, whenever I decide to fly around the world again, if I decide to fly around the world again, I really want to fly around the world in this game. It would be so cool because it would just be cool, you know, like have a 30-hour-long live stream, though I'm pretty sure YouTube only allows you to stream for 9 hours, but have a 30-hour-long live stream of just streaming and stuff, like, or not streaming, but flying around the world, you know, like that. And also, that is a very clickbait title, but I honestly don't know if I could do that because, or, what am I trying to say? The algorithm's already given me what it is, because it's registering. I have no idea how on earth, how well YouTube algorithm works so well, because it's almost uncanny how well it works. Because like if you upload, because it's flying around the world as a series, and obviously YouTube isn't going to recommend everybody a series, you know. It just isn't going to recommend everybody a series or something. And it's registering. I'm flying around the world in Flight Simulator X as a series, so I don't know. Because if I do fly around the world and do a 30-hour long live stream, I want somebody to watch it, because legitimately nobody watched my like 4-hour long, 3-hour long podcast of me talking to myself, hopelessly trying to fly around the world. No, but nobody watched that. But interestingly enough, my video of me flying to Houston suddenly got algorithm, I guess. It just gained like 17 views, which again is nothing but two small YouTuber with a whopping 5 subscribers currently. That's a lot of views. That's like, why did it suddenly gain that much? But it just did randomly. YouTube just suddenly wanted to give that video views, I guess, and it did. I don't know. Ask YouTube. But I'm thinking if I stream every week, I think YouTube might, or the algorithm, or however you want to say it, might start recommending videos or stuff, because like the flying around the world video got like 10 or 20 some impressions. It did not get many, and most all of those were probably from me. But my flying around the world video got like 2,000, so that's pretty good. Like I don't understand what was so special about that flying around the world video, the first one, because there was nothing special about that video. It had like nothing good to it. Like, firstly, I had no idea what I was doing with live stream. I still have I'm gonna like my own stream. There we go. I liked my own stream, but oh, would you look at that? What was that? Boeing MD-83. Back in the days when them used to fly. Do MD-83s still fly? I don't think they do. I mean, it's a shame McDonnell Douglas is... I think McDonnell Douglas did go bankrupt at some point, right? I think they did. That or they got bought up by Boeing. Oh, somebody else liked my live stream. How fantastic. I wonder who that was. But, yeah, I think McDonnell Douglas got bought out by Boeing, and I think Boeing basically just killed them. Which is such a shame, might I add, because, you know, it's just a shame, because, like, McDonnell Douglas, they made, like, such iconic planes, like, they made the MD-80, you know, everyone knows about, most everybody that knows stuff about aviation, like, or likes aviation to an extent, knows about the MD-80. They made, like, I think, like, one of the first American passenger airliners, I think, right? One of the first American airliners. I know what was it, like, the Covair, was it the Comet? I'm not sure. I think it was the Comet that was the first, might not, it probably was not, but, it was like the Covair or something, that was like the first passenger airliner, and then McDonnell Douglas had the MD, I don't know what it was called. MD, whatever the Ford engine one was. And then Boeing, it was like, no, and then made the 707. Which, might I add, is like one of my favorite airplanes is the 707, because, I don't know, 707 and 727, which I have for the flight simulator, thankfully. I might do another 727 flight in the future. It was a freeware airplane. It's like it's probably much better than, it has way more functionality than this thing. It was a freeware airplane, it's amazing. But, yeah, that 727, that thing is great. Yeah, you got the 717. Nobody knows about the 717. I mean, 717 just is never talked about because it's just a reskin of an MD 80, 82, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There ain't no MD 80, 88, 88, 87. There ain't any of that. I think there's MD 80, MD 81, and 82. I think. I don't think there ever was anything past that. I don't know. Not too knowledgeable on them. just a pretty image. I mean, the repeating textures on the ground is not a pretty thing. But it's a 16-year-old simulator. 16-year-old simulator. Cut it some slack. Nah, like, even X-Plane at this time, I think, or, like, what was it? What would it have been, like, X-Plane 9 at this point? It might have been X-Plane 8. But even X-Plane 8 had better stuff. I find it amazing how when Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 first launched, it didn't have contrails, and, you know, Flight Simulator X, it has contrails. Or chemtrails, if you want to call it that. It's just like, you know, it's just, I think it's just like moisture and stuff from sky burning in the engines and whatever. I don't know fully what the contrails are. I don't know. But I think it would have been like X-Plane 8 at this point. Would have. I think they had. I don't think they, because this is just like a, it basically does like a scan to see if it's like a city. I think it has like farmland, desert. I don't know what else it has. I think it has like rural areas, like neighborhoods and stuff. I don't know how many of them there are. I know there's probably only like 8 of them. And then it just basically has the highways put all through them, and rivers and water generation and stuff. Pretty impressive for 2006. Like, that's pretty dang impressive for 2006, but I don't know what X-Plane had. I kind of wish I knew what X-Plane had at this point, because I feel like it would have been close, or if not the same, as this. Old Flight Simulator X. I just like Flight Simulator X. Like, it's actually really, really nice. Because, I don't know, I've been playing Flight Simulator X for legitimately my entire life. Since I was 3, I've been flying the simulator. And I have not learned how to properly fly still. I'm just still learning stuff about it. Like, I'm still, just like a few weeks ago, not a few weeks, probably about 3 months ago, I figured out how to, like, you know, move up and down, and side to side, and all that. Like, I just recently learned that, which is pretty big, considering, like, a lot of the airplanes you're, like, way down the seat. It's kind of hard to see over the nose. But this is just super easy, so. Yeah, did not know there was a way to do that for so long, and I was like, I criticized Flight Simulator. It's like, you made a flight simulator, but you didn't allow it to have that, but it does. I just didn't know it. Because I apparently never thought to Google it, because I was like, if I haven't figured it out yet, it doesn't exist, right? Obviously. But no. I don't really want to flip between the cameras too much, because that might... What is that? I don't know if anybody can see that on stream, but up and now it's gone. There was like a little, like, square hole in the cloud. That's pretty. Like, that's pretty. I might use that for a thumbnail. Just don't mind me, I'm just gonna... Don't mind that screenshot saved, because that is beautiful right there. Like, look at that. If the disgusting wing light or logo light textures weren't disgusting, it would actually be very pretty. Dang. Can I turn that off? I think I can. Hold on. Nope, it just stays on. Great. Thank you, Flight Simulator X. Yep. You gotta love this very, very buggy flight simulator. I installed some custom sky textures, actually. I guess that's like one of the only mods I actually have is custom sky textures. Yep. Hey, 50 frames per second whenever I look there. That's pretty good. Yeah. I like how flight simulators... Like, flight simulators never really get good frame rate. Like, if you go even, like, to, like, X-Plane or Flight Sim 2004, which is really, really an outdated simulator. So it's actually amazing that people still use Flight Simulator X in 2020. Like, one of my favorite Flight Simulator YouTubers, Joya. He does a ton of Microsoft and X-Plane stuff. He recently did a Microsoft Flight Simulator X video. I don't even know why he did it on Flight Sim X, because, like, could have very easily done it in X-Plane. They did it on Flight Simulator X for some reason. I don't know why. You gotta love how that one CPU core is just 100% non-stop. Yeah, that's what Flight Simulator X does. It uses one CPU core, and that's all. But yep, I forgot what I was talking about. Nah, I was talking about X-Plane and how like Flight Simulator X is. I have no idea what I was talking about. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and turn those off and get strobe and beacons on again. There we go. I don't actually know how you turn on the cabin lights at all. Like, at all. I have no idea. I'm assuming there's a fairly easy way to do it, but I think to my knowledge, you are only able to do it in, like, you. So, these headphones, immediately off topic. Hold up, let me finish what I was talking about. Uh, I'm pretty sure you can only do it in the 2D cockpit panel, which is stupid. But again, this is Flight Simulator X. Don't really need to say much more. So much stuff on this Flight Simulator is broken, man. So much. It's a shame, really, because like I have a feeling in like give it 5 years, Flight Simulator X will number one be completely irrelevant. Like there would be no reason for people to use Flight Simulator X in 5 years. Because firstly, like even though it is very low, much lower demand than like even X-Plane or especially new Microsoft Flight Simulator, but Prepare 3D, I definitely think Prepare 3D will still be somewhat used, but X-Plane 12 actually is coming out by like mid-summer next year, like 2022, summer 2022, which, nobody's really talking about X-Plane 12. Mainly because X-Plane 12, I think it's just going to be a big update to X-Plane 11. Because X-Plane 11 were modern day flight simulators, actually. Like, you can't change the format of the game, really, because so many developers, especially for X-Plane, not so much for FSX, but for X-Plane, like, the amount of work that goes into all the planes now, like, you know, this, you give a experienced modeler enough time to make this model, and I'm sure 10 hours on the airplane model itself, probably. Uh, very simple textures, like, I don't know, give it like 5 hours on all the texture work. I don't know. I'm just kind of speaking what I think. And like all the physics and stuff, like trial and error really is what it would take the longest. But it really would not take that long. Like, and sound is just it's just a loop the audio. It's a shame that it's like that, but it's Flight Simulator X. Yeah, you gotta live with the Flight Simulator X and its weird ways of doing things. Oh, but this is pretty. This is very, very pretty. Which is not something you can say about many games from 2006. I have a feeling you can't really say this is a very pretty game because not many things can do that. Like I've originally been playing a NASCAR racing game on a PlayStation 2, and it was from 2008, and it looks pretty bad. Now, obviously, consoles and computers in that era was two very different things. Consoles, it really weren't much, but anyways, it looks pretty bad, and that was from 2008. This is from 2006, and obviously the sky things were changed, but everything else is stock. It's pretty, like it's not that bad looking. Like you got some very, very basic shadows. I actually want to make a video saying, why do people play Flight Simulator X in 2020 or in 2021? Problem is, with putting a number or what you call it, a time frame in the title, it kind of immediately kills it after a bit. But oh well. The things we suffer for views, even though I don't really care about views. I do. Because whenever a video pops off and gets like 100 views, I'm like, what? 100 views? Oh, hold up, what? Why'd you get 100 views now? I still have no clue why that. I think it was the interesting title, but watch the other one. Watch the fourth attempt, whatever the longest stream was. It was like a 6-hour long live stream. I managed to make it to Atlanta on that stream, which is the first I've ever made. Really puts us perspective on how poorly everything works. What's that? Do I really have to keep talking? This is kind of like one of the things that like really make me worried. Or like kind of demotivates me. Is like I know no, I apparently have one watching now, which is probably just myself or my laptop. This is like one of the things that really demotivates me whenever streaming is like I know at this point in the stream nobody is. There's a very low chance that anybody is going to be seeing this. And I just have to accept that, really. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, looking at my audience retention rates, it's actually what you would expect for a Flight Simulator live stream thing, where it's like, I'm thinking, buffering. Oh, yeah, it's what you would think for like a Flight Simulator X stream or a Flight Simulator streamer at all. It's like you get like a big burst in like the beginning, and then like you just get like random little peaks throughout the video where it's like critical moments, which is what you would expect. But it actually surprised me. I love YouTube Studio because there's so many statistics and stuff. It's so fun to look at all the stuff in YouTube statistics. But I know at this point nobody's going to be seeing this. The chances of anybody seeing this are very low, unless if this video with New York to Miami and FSX pops off. Nobody's going to be seeing this. So. Yep, I'm just going to have to live with that. Accept it. But, actually, yeah, Technoblade. Minecraft. Whoa, we're talking about Minecraft in a Flight Simulator stream. Get a little bit normal now, but, Technoblade, you know, the big Minecraft streamer, or not streamer, but big Minecraft player, you know, very good at PvP and clicking on mouse, like 4 years ago, he made a video on like how to YouTube. It's just the title, how to YouTube. It was like, don't worry about your early videos. Don't worry about the videos that you're posting now, because they will all from a year from now you'll look back and say, wow, those are garbage. He just said, don't worry about what videos you're putting. I mean, he didn't say it like this. He said it in a much more Technoblade kind of way, but like, you know, he basically said, in long short, it was like, don't worry about the videos you're making now, because even if you sound awful, which, I don't know, I kind of do, like, you know, that will give you experience. So he said, like, why don't you wait till, like, my voice is a little bit less, I cannot go, so, like, I used to be able to go so high-pitched volume with my voice, and it's gone. And it makes me so sad, because my voice was your common squeaker voice, and it's gone, and it makes me sad. I use the highest pitch of voice I can talk in, and it's more weird sounding. It doesn't really sound good. It just kind of sounds creepy. I don't even know if this. I don't even think this is high pitch at all. I used to be able to talk so high pitched, and now I can't, and it makes me so sad. You're probably hearing me scratching my ear right now. That's probably something you want to hear with Flight Simulator stream. Problem with headsets, eh? And major problem wearing headsets with earbud things and then having it over it, which hurts my ear significantly, and I don't like it. Probably somebody that knew better than me would say, you probably shouldn't be doing that, it might hurt your ear later down the line, but I say, you're right. But I need to make streams, so eventually, I am off topic, but he said basically, even if you have a squeaker voice now, you will have practice, you know, you will have experience. So whenever your voice gets better, you will actually have experience with talking and like on YouTube. And like that actually like made a lot of sense to me. It's like, wow, that's something, you know. And it's just like, and when I was making my channel, I had the sole goal to get 10 million subscribers. Little did he know, 5 years later, he would be at 9.8 million subscribers now. Little did he know, my gosh, these earbud things are so cheap. Like they're a dollar store. They're your equivalent, like your standard everyday dollar store earbud things. And like both of them, the speakers in them are not properly attached. Like if you shake it, you can just feel the speaker moving around in the casing, which is just wonderful. Probably should turn on. Yeah, there's no moisture. We're fine. I was about to turn on my anti-ice, but nah, no need for that. I was talking about something. Oh yeah, these things are super cheap because like if you shake it and you feel like the speaker moving around and like if my voice goes to a certain pitch, it will just go yeah, just like make an awful sound of like oh it just made it. You might actually be able to hear it because it might shake through the thing into the microphone or somehow. I don't know, but yeah, it's really cheap and it's awful sounding. I have some Bluetooth ones that I use more often, but they're Bluetooth, which is pretty. I don't like Bluetooth. I much prefer wired because like Bluetooth earbuds in the effort to like save volume or save battery, they'll turn themselves off completely, which makes sense. But the problem is it takes them a little while for the volume to come back, and whenever you're playing games and stuff, that's annoying. So and can actually cause problems. So it's a bit annoying how that happens, but I learned to exist with it. Also, my center tank has way more fuel than my wing tanks, which is interesting. Anyways, yeah, the Technoblade video, just simply called How to YouTube, is basically like one of his old like Skywars videos, but because I've just been going back and watching all those things because they're interesting, seeing what he was thinking of his channel back then. But I was thinking about something, and I've completely forgotten it. Oh yeah, it's actually a really interesting video because just as like a lot of YouTuber videos go over like how to be a good YouTuber. They basically say do what you want to do, don't get burnout or something like that, which are all very good things. And I mean, I'm doing what I like to do. I absolutely love to play Microsoft Flight Simulator X, despite its many flaws. It's a simulator I can take more peacefully and not be so serious with, and I like that because the stress and stuff that new Microsoft Flight Simulator has, it's a bit much. I mean, it's obviously, it's just a bit much, like the hyper-realistic airplanes. Like, put me in the 152 and I'm happy, but when it gets to like the A320 and stuff, especially like the, what you call it, fly-by-wire mod, which, the fly-by-wire mod just scares me so much, because like, it has just so many buttons and stuff, and like everything works. It's almost too good for its own good, and it's a free mod as well, which is just wow. Like one of the most realistic, probably one of the most biggest airplane mods ever is a freeware mod. It's insane, but like it overwhelms me a bit. Where in FSX you don't get the same immersion. Like obviously, I'm not really that immersed into the simulator. I know this is the game. Like new Microsoft Flight Simulator, you get immersed, especially VR with it. Oh, I mean, I only have like an Oculus, which is great for Flight Simulator X. Or what is that? Hmm. So the highway turns into a stream of water, which goes out there. I'm assuming that's man-made. I'm actually very interested by that. I'm assuming that was to control like water levels, but I don't think that would really change much. Anyways, I was talking about something before I saw that. Oh yeah, I'm not fully immersed in the simulator, I'm not amazed by it or anything, but new Microsoft Flight Simulator. You get VR going with that simulator and you have a powerful enough computer to run it at a good frame rate, and oh wow, you just get completely lost in it. Because like especially like the A320. I have like a phone recording of like it's so immersive. Flight simulators in VR because everything is so massive and like you look around and you see everything and you actually feel like you're in the little plane. Then you just reach down and you feel like your awful chair armrests like I have. I actually really like the chair that I have. It's like your standard office chair, probably not very good for my spine's longevity. Actually, that's something I'm really worried about later in life because I don't really get out of my chair much or do anything. So yeah, slightly worried about my spine's longevity. If there's one thing I'm really worried about in life, that's it. that's what I'm really worried about in life is my back and everything. Cause I don't get up. I sit down all day long. And like my posture really ain't that good either most of the time. Like right now I'm sitting fairly straight up, you know, as you should, but like whenever I stand I am kind of hunched over. I'm hoping that's normal, but I'm really worried it isn't. Like, I'm not hunched over like an old lady, but like I prefer to be looking at the floor than looking straight, and I don't think that's a good thing. Oh, Farm Birthday. I'd actually like to try a CRJ live stream in the future from just some classic place. The problem is like I don't want to do like a. What am I trying to say here? I'm really trying to think. There aren't many regional airports that I could go to, really. That's what I'm trying to go to. I could go to from, like, I don't know, like, Cardiff, I guess, to, like, I don't know, like, Cardiff to, I don't know if London, or London City Airport has that, but London City could be a really cool place to fly out of. Though, London City, it's London City, really, so. I don't know. The problem, one of the main things that really bothers me with doing flights is, like, I really struggle to figure out where I want to go. Like, I really struggle wherever I figure out where I want to go in these streams, because I don't know if I want to go somewhere, you know? I don't know where I want to go. Like, I don't know why I have such a problem with it, but I just can never figure out what airport I want to go to. It causes a little bit of problem. Oh! All the lights are turning off. Or turning back. Yeah, turning off from being night. That's interesting. Orbit Airlines. That's actually a really pretty good overview. Like, obviously, I am a Pacifica Airlines pilot, if you did not know. But I thought the Orbit Airlines would look a bit better, even though I've only chosen to fly on, like, world travel and orbit. Whenever I fly on my own, just not streaming it, which I might as well stream it now. The only problem with streaming is I gotta constantly talk, which isn't very good for talking. What time is it? Oh boy, it's getting kind of late. I gotta go somewhere tomorrow. And it's getting kind of late. And I gotta wake up pretty early, so... I'm gonna have to see what I can do with that. I don't know how far out we are. Funny thing is, I have live weather on, but there's no wind, which is very typical of Flight Simulator X live weather. I could go down to like 26,000 feet and might pick up live wind, but I'm not sure. Not too terribly sure. I don't have to talk constantly, I just prefer to. I could listen to like a podcast or something, but the problem is, I'd rather mute my microphone for doing that. And I can't mute my microphone while playing Flight Simulator X. It's only Flight Simulator X. I can play BeamNG Drive. I guess War Thunder. People hate War Thunder. I don't know why people hate War Thunder, but people hate War Thunder because it's a free-play game and stuff. But you know, I play War Thunder time to time because it's a good combat simulator. It's not like DCS or something amazing like that, but it's a good combat simulator. But you know, I can mute my microphone while playing that. Flight Simulator X, no, it doesn't register any commands onto OBS, which I don't know why it does that. It should, but it just doesn't. It's really annoying because like I can't mute my microphone, which is something I kind of like to do. Because like if I just want to sit down, talk to myself, not I have the fear of constantly having every single word I say be recorded and possibly be judged in the future. Um, yeah, like, I would like to mute my microphone, but because normal flight simulator streamers can just sit down for 8 hours straight and just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and I cannot do that. That is something I cannot do. Like, it's just impossible for me to constantly talk like that. Because I, I cannot do that. I just can't. It's not something I'm good at. Just constantly talking. I mean, I've managed to do it for basically an hour now. Probably exactly an hour on the dot. And probably a lot of people find it annoying that I constantly talk, but I probably have like some mild case of ADHD or something. Actually, I really do think I do, probably. Because like I'm on one topic and just jump to another, just constantly talk. Probably talk about the same stuff constantly, but it's just what I'm good at, I guess. Normal streamers, you can talk to the chat, but you know, yeah, like normal streamers, they can talk to the chat. They can, like normally they can just talk to the chat and endlessly talk about that. But I have to be my own chat, I guess you could say, which isn't particularly good, because yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything to talk about. I'd love to mute my microphone, but I just can't. How long would this flight take me? Let's go to Flight Radar 24, and obviously, good thing. Also, I downloaded iOS 15 on the fancy old iPhone here, and it's really annoying. I hate it. Okay, I like iOS 15. I'm just having to get used to it. But I really wish in settings they would allow you to be able to change which side of the search bar is on. But you can't do that, which is a little bit annoying. Oh wait, hold up. Okay, so I was just looking at the settings to see if I could do that. You can actually... Okay. Apple? People hate Apple because everyone's like, Apple do bad, Apple never do good. Apple physically cannot do a good thing because they're a big company bad, but like, gosh, Apple really, they are good. Like, oh gosh, so I think I've broken it by doing this because it's like thinking the thing should be down there, what's up there. Oh well. Let's see. So, if I'm doing this flight, oh, Wilmington. Charleston. I might actually do that flight, actually. Oh, wait, no, it's Washington, okay. I'm off topic already. Yeah, Zaragoza. Diverting to Mexico City? What? I don't even know where you're going. So, you were going to Miami, and you're... Okay, I'm just looking at Flight Radar 24 to anybody that's wondering. So I'm looking at a Ethiopian cargo here that was originally going to Miami, but now it's going to Mexico City? How do you mess up that bad? Also, it looks like it is still going to Miami. It's probably just a bug with Flight Radar 24. But, yeah, it's most certainly still going there, but... Jeez. Anyways, I need an airplane that I can get a good idea on how long this is going to fly. JetBlue. Boston to Fort Lauderdale. So roughly 3 hours. I'm going to say about 3 hours, because they departed from Boston, so... 3 hours. We got a flying. It's 2 hours to go. Not bad. 3 hours to go, just sitting here talking to nobody, because there is a 0% chance that anybody will see this. No, nobody would see this part of the stream. I could say whatever I want to right now, and nobody would know. Except if anybody skip through the video, which I would not blame, because again, that's what I saw when I was looking at audience retention rates. It's just a few people skipping to between the things. Again, I love YouTube Studios. I love graphs. I love all of that. Like, I, I've already talked about marketing multiple times and how I absolutely love and hate marketing. Because, I mean, I'm just saying, if pilot ain't gonna be my job, I'm just saying that, number one. I don't know, flight instructor, I don't know how much you get paid for being a flight instructor, but you wouldn't want me training you to fly, trust me, that. I can tell you that, but, you know, buffering, um, I'm still buffering. What was I saying? Yeah, there's a 0% chance that I'm going into the airlines because, firstly, the amount of money it takes to get into the airlines is insane. Because I think it was a Captain Joe video I watched, and I've heard it from multiple other places, where they say, like, it's very expensive and takes at least 10 years of going back and forth, which, honestly, keep it that way. Because I don't want some random guy. Honestly, that's like the best way to do it. Is like, I don't want some random guy that just got his pilot's license flying a massive 747 with 400 people on it, knowing at any moment they could crash it. You know, that's not something I would want. Which is a scary thought, might I add, that any pilot at any moment could decide, you know, I could have the most epic suicide. And I don't like saying suicide. I could have the most epic death ever. You know, I don't like that thought. But obviously, I don't think somebody would have, a airline pilot would have gone, you know, through like, because firstly, you'd start off with being a flight instructor, then you'd have to move up to maybe private airlines, and then you might move into charters, and then you might move up into like actual airlines and stuff, you know? It would take a very, very long time. And honestly, something I probably would not be willing to commit to because, oh boy, that's way too much work for me. That ain't something I'd be willing to do, is go through all that. I'd love to be an airline pilot, but firstly, that's way too much. Yeah, that's way too much pressure for me. Like, I would not want to know that I am directly responsible for the lives of 100 plus people at a time. I would not like that. Also, there's a lot to learn. Maybe at some point my mind will change, but I'd love to. But because when I was younger, I was like, I want to be a NASCAR driver. And then, um, like I feel like at some point, at some age, I gained sentience. Like at some age, I gained sentience. It was probably around like I don't know, 12 is when I gained sentience. And past then, I was like, yeah, being a race car NASCAR driver, that's pretty dangerous and has some pretty diminishing returns. A lot of stuff you gotta do. And I was like, airline pilot. Yeah, I could be an airline pilot. And then now I'm like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. I'd still absolutely love to be an airline pilot. I've said that a million times, but I would love to be an airline pilot. It's just, there's way too much stuff that goes into it. And honestly, like, there's just a lot of jobs that would be a lot easier. And I mean, if you're a 737 pilot, you're getting paid big bucks. And also, currently, the world is needing pilots more now than ever, which I really do not understand. But, anyways, you know, airlines are needing more pilots than ever right now for some reason, which I guess makes sense because, like, when COVID came, you know, all airplanes basically stopped flying, and I'm sure a lot of airline pilots had to get new jobs. And now, when airliners are starting to fly again, you know, there ain't enough pilots. They need to hire more pilots. So, it makes sense. Which, if I can turn 21 immediately, I think it's 21 you have to be. I don't think any airline would trust a 21-year-old flying and stuff like that. Okay, if I immediately turn 26 years old, airline pilot, yeah. Yeah, airline pilot. Nice. Yeah. Again, it's just there's just so much stuff that goes behind it, and so much money that we do not have, or I don't have, or my family, or probably my grandfather, mother, and then their great, and then just so on farther and farther back until get to the very beginning of creation. Nobody had enough money to become this. Though I mean, if you do get into it, that you earn some big money. I mean, I don't know what figures you earn as like a 737 pilot. You have to earn like, I don't know, 120 grand a year maybe. I don't know. 120 grand a year seems fair for a 737 pilot. Maybe you might earn 140. I don't know. It really depends, I guess, on the airline. Like if you're flying for Ryanair, expect the bare minimum, which I'd actually love to do a Ryanair flight because Ryanair gets a really bad rap for such a good airline, or a reputation for such a good airline. Like people do not simply understand the quality that is Ryanair. It's a cheap, very cheap. Like again, like I think Ryanair tickets, they're only going to get cheaper with the 737 Max as well. So like there's just such a good airline. I wish we had Ryanair over here in the Americas, but well, I don't know how well their business model would work. And instead of Ryanair, we got Spirit Airlines over here, I guess. I guess Spirit is kind of like your low-cost carrier, which is perfectly fine. Geez, I could really done better with that title. New York to Miami in FSX. Like, I think I might just leave what a good title for a little bit. Did I even spell title right? Hold up, I don't even know if I spelled title right. Hold up, I might not have. Hey Siri, how do I spell title? No, I don't. Siri! You know, you're such a good piece of technology, like 32% of the time. I should know how to spell title. I know certainly spell titles correctly. I just want to see. Hey Siri, how do I spell title? How to set a title and oh, I spelled it correctly. That's all I really need to know. Siri is such a revolutionary, not really revolutionary, such a great innovation, I guess. Or like, what does Android phones have? Do Android phones have like, I think Android has like Google. Apple gets such a bad reputation, and in every way that is deserved, cause like, you can't fix an iPhone. Like, if your iPhone dies, well, looks like you're gonna have to get another $11,000 or 1,100, what is it, $1,200 phone? It's really bad how Apple's become, but like they make really good stuff. Like if Apple was the one, I think I said this in the last live stream as well, but I don't like Facebook. I do not like Facebook. But if Apple made the Oculus Quest, I would be a lot happier because I don't like how Facebook has done it, and Facebook is Facebook. Facebook is going to be Facebook. But if Apple made the Oculus Quest, firstly it would cost like $800 instead of $300, but that's just Apple for you. But imagine if Apple made the Oculus Quest. If it was the same price, which would not happen, I'd assume the lowest Apple would be willing to go for is $1,500. But imagine, because Apple makes such good, like, iOS, you know, people don't really care for iOS all that much, which I don't blame them. It can be a bit annoying. But iOS is super clean. Like, anybody that has an Apple phone knows how clean and how smooth and how overall nice Apple's iOS is, you know, for phones and stuff. Like, everything is really well made on here. And like, in terms of quality, like, they make good quality phones, you know. It's just or tablets, or computer. Does Apple still make computers? I don't even know if they still make computers, but they make high quality things. That they were trying to kill some other things like wired headphones. It's a very much of a business, but they make good stuff. You can't really say they don't. Jeez, I would hate to have a face cam. I would not want a face cam. I mean, I don't know. I do not want a face cam. I could probably easily get a face cam working with like the phone right here, but nah. I don't want a face cam. Like, it would be so much better for my views and stuff to have a face cam, but I'm just saying it. I don't have like a very YouTuber face. I have a gamer face. That's what I have, and I look uncannily British, even though my knowledge am not. Yeah, I look very British. Like, without glasses, I basically, or with glasses, I guess. With the right glasses, if anybody, gosh, I'm a flight simulator streamer. This is not what I should be talking about, but like, Roblox, Ethan Gamer TV. He's like he used to be a popular Roblox YouTuber. I don't know what he does now, but like Ethan Gamer TV. I basically, up until now, basically this year, I basically looked exactly like him, but not as British. I do not sound as British. I just wish, I don't know. I just wish I had somebody to talk to in the chat, you know? Hopefully at some point YouTube starts, I get some sort of subscriber base that I can talk to in the chat, because without that, these streams are so boring without that, because I have nobody to talk to, and it's just me talking to myself constantly, which is not great. Because I'm just talking to myself. Humans, we are not very creative things. Like, everyone's like, yeah, you're such a creative person, but like, everything, if there was nothing, you would not be able to figure out anything. Like, if you just were in a white room, eventually you would not be able to think of much anything new or creative. Like, you could only think of new things by seeing new things. I don't know what video I watched it from, but like, we're not very creative things. Your creativity is being able to take things from areas and then mush them into something else that inspired you, you know? But by ourselves, not very creative. Like, I can only talk about so many things. Like, I can talk about other YouTubers, but that's just kind of a cliche, I guess, for me. I can talk about life. I have like a little, here we go, I can talk about Chinese-made products, yes, but I have a fan. It's a USB fan. They're actually really nice. Like, if you do not have it's like a tiny little USB fan, and it's exactly how you would expect it to be. It's very quiet. Like, let me turn it on real quick. I don't know. OBS will probably kill the audio in a few moments, but I'll turn it on real quick. It's not. There we go. Didn't start. Yeah, you can probably hear at least the wind or whatever, but it's actually a really quiet little fan. And they're wonderful. I love these things so much. It's just a shame. Like, they're just great. And like, it's amazing that just recently USB fans are becoming like a thing. Cause like, they should have been here since the dawn of USB. Like, I don't know how long they've existed for, but they're new. And I also got a no-name battery pack. It's just a no-name battery pack. Has two USB things and one micro USB connector. And I plugged in the USB fan to the battery pack, okay? And taped the USB fan to the battery pack. And now it's a portable fan. A portable, small-ish fan that I can just turn on wherever, and it's fantastic. And I can just charge it on my computer, because I can just plug it into my computer, have it charging and then whenever I need to go somewhere, unplug it from my computer's USB port, have a fully charged thing that can run for 8 hours because it requires no power. It's an absolutely brilliant piece of technology. Because also battery packs that support like USB, have not seen many of them recently, but just now suddenly realizing they exist. So, little USB fan, get one if you don't. They are great for like a little desk fan, because like desk fans, they're always like super loud and like they make awful sounds and everything. This thing, it just goes, not even that. It's just like a tiny little sound. It's fantastic how quiet this thing is. Just how well it works, because it actually puts out a good amount of air. And the one I have is actually an older one. It's like one when they first started to like exist, like when the trend first started going on. Now you can get one for roughly the same price. I got this one for like $3. It was fairly cheap. But newer ones, they cost a bit more, like $5. Oh, I didn't know this thing had. I have like a little Hot Wheels. Immediately off topic, but let me just, there we go. Um, but they're like a little bit more expensive, but they pump out so much more air. They're they're such a great little device. Also, I'm getting 60 frames per second on Flight Simulator X. I have never seen this game look so buttery smooth in my entire life. Look at this. Look at this. Just look at this. It's so smooth. I've never had this game run at such a clean frame rate before. That's 60 frames per second. Look how smooth this is. I'm not used to seeing Flight Simulator X run. It took you that long to find the traffic? It took you that long to find the traffic. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look as smooth on the laptop because it's recording 24 frames per second, unfortunately. So you cannot share the beautiful smoothness that this is right now. Like I don't think I've ever had Flight Simulator X run at this high of a frame rate before. But it's so smooth. I love it. Like, what does the mouse look like? Oh my gosh, I've never had Flight Simulator X run this smoothly before. I'm not used to it. Boy, oh boy. What's my life come to? Should be getting there in about, I don't know, an hour and a half, I don't know. I generally way underestimate how long it's going to take. I'm like, yeah, we'll get there in 30 minutes, and then, like, an hour later, I'll be like, we'll get there in an hour, and then, like, 2 hours later, like, we'll get there in about 15 minutes. Yep. Just casually flying. Again, I've said this before, but Flight Simulator X just has like a massive charm to me. Because it's just such a charming game, really. Like, it's not, when it was new, it probably took itself a bit more seriously, but now it's just a really casual simulator, you know? Like, even Air Proud 95, you know, Air Force Proud 95, fantastic YouTuber. Watch all of his videos, please do. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, Air Proud 95, like, you can just tell that, like, nobody takes the game seriously, you know, like, in his videos, nobody takes the game seriously. Like, I mean, if you're playing on VATS, I'm sure two people are going to take it seriously, but, like, nobody's going to take Flight Simulator X seriously, really, in modern day. But when it was new, I'm sure people did, but and them servers is just random people just there. Yep. This is my life, really. This is Flight Simulator X. For airline flights. I would actually I should want to do like a lighter, smaller airplane stream. But the problem is, like, the problem is with doing, like, oh gosh, that thumbnail. So I'm just, like, looking at my video right now. That thumbnail is so bad. Oh goodness me, why did I make it look that bad? Like my FSX Houston, Texas to Miami. That's a good looking thumbnail. Around the world, that's an alright looking thumbnail. Why did I make it look that bad? Oh no. Anyways, I'm just gonna go back. Am I actually on for the Flight Simulator X? Let me see here. Browse game. I never turned off notifications. Oh no, I'm not for some reason. Why? Oh, that's recommended. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that at some point I'll be able to get into this. Yeah, you see, I'm playing 50D chess here, okay? So what I'm doing is I am playing a dead game, okay? Generally, people say like if you want to, or like 3, 4 years ago, probably 5 years ago, people were said if you want views and stuff, if you want a good channel, play Minecraft. No, that's not what you want to do. Well, you or I don't know what I'm talking about really, but what I'm doing is start playing a dead game, okay? Because on a dead game, like Flight Simulator or dead-er game, you don't want a dead game, you want a dead-ish game. Such as Flight Simulator X. Because Flight Simulator X is a deader game, you know? Like, it doesn't have that many people to, like, watch it and such. So, like, um, what am I talking about here? Come on, brain. Brain in there. Just kind of run, please, brain. Work, please, I beg upon you. Um, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to think about, but I'm not thinking about what I was thinking about. Oh yeah, I'm playing a deader game because then there's less selection, so there's a higher chance that people will actually watch this instead of, you know, an actually good video. It's it's brilliant. I am playing the 4D my YouTube. I was about to say Minecraft plays, but no, I'm playing the 4D YouTube plays. Yeah, that's right. Because if I'm playing a less popular game, firstly, like I don't know what I'm talking about. Brain, think of what you're talking about before you say something. That doesn't anyways, like, if I'm playing a deader game, basically, there's less videos to go, there's less competition. There we go, I said it, finally. There's less competition, so it's just easier, you know, you don't have as many people to actually go up against you, so the smaller YouTubers kind of thrive around this area, you know? If I get 100 subscribers, I will fly around, no. In my YouTube channel description is, I will fly around the world in FSX if I get 5 subscribers, because I didn't think I would get 5 subscribers, and bam, randomly, one day, just got, like, 2 subscribers, and I was like, oh no, and the third day, 1 more subscriber, and then I was, like, at 6 subscribers, and like, okay, I'm gonna push that off. I mean, obviously, nobody's ever seen my channel description, because nobody's probably ever gone to my channel. Them wires are holding on by a thread. Oh no. Sorry, my headphone wires are falling apart. I need to fix that. But not now. Yeah, my headphone wires are completely disintegrating. I say headphone wires. My microphone wires are completely disintegrating. My headset wires are completely disintegrating. There we go. I did it. How's the stream sound? I have not done a sound. Oh, my ears. I do not miss that about headphones. Oh, my ears. Yes, the little bit came. My ears are in pain currently. I do not miss that about headphones. Where's my... Oh, okay, well, that just... This laptop is a total joke. Did you get tangled up in that? You did. Jeez. How on earth does that... Alright, go in the microphone. Or headset. Oh, gosh, that doesn't... Just... Listen. Do I got sound? I do not have sound. Sound? 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 Oh. Of course. Alright. So... Gosh. So I'm just going to put... Alright. I'm just going to talk normally so I can hear how I sound. Just going to do this so I can hear how I can sound. Yeah, I sound perfectly fine. Alright, just as I expected, really. Alright, now I'm just gonna take those out real quick. Put these back on and find my earbud dangamajingos. I still don't really know what they're called. Uh, Still there. Oh, there. Now put the headphones on top. Oh, well. That's the closest tower. Look at that beautiful ground sea. Oh, there's the trees. Fantastic. Now the game's frame rate probably is going to drop. What's that down there? I would not be flying a... I mean, I guess. It's a King Air. Well, if it was like a normal airliner, I'd be like, I would not fly that airliner that low. I mean, if an engine quits, we could theoretically make it to land. This airplane should be able to fly on one engine, to my knowledge, but... Yeah. Can I change you to... Oh, I can change you to Mach. Normally doesn't let me do that. Nice. Yeah, and actually have it at Mach. Mach. I'm just... I don't know what to do. Like, there really ain't much to talk about. And normal streamers, they have a chat to talk to. I don't have a chat to talk to, which is a bit of a problem because, you know, I have to talk to myself like a madman. But that's honestly how a lot of YouTubers are, so... Whatever. It's whatever. You know, I'd say my favorite airplane of all time is a 737-200. Calling it here, that's my favorite airplane of all time. I know it's absolutely insane. You're shooken by my favorite airplane. It's a mix between that and the 727, which are basically the same airplane, just with engines mounted at different places and wings mounted in different places. But yeah, probably if I had to say my favorite airplane is a Boeing 737-200. I don't know why the 200 specific. I like the engines on it, and I guess it's a smaller airplane, but there really ain't anything particularly special about it. It's a 737. I guess it's a 737 that you can like. Uh, what am I trying to say? It's a 737 that you can land on like gravel runways and stuff. You know, because you can get like the gravel kit for it and do it and land it on. What does that say? Oh, auto throttle engage, or is that disengage? Yeah, it's disengage. If I wanted to, you generally just press that and you turn on toga. At least I think that. I'm not actually sure which one turns on toga. I'm pretty sure you just click that button and toga go vroom. Yes, toga go vroom. It's a very accurate thing. It's honestly amazing how far flying came. It's actually amazing how quickly, like, go back 100 years ago, or even just 50 years ago, for instance, and like, internet didn't really exist 50 years ago. Actually, no, internet didn't exist 50 years ago. Like, a lot of things did not exist 50 years ago. Like, basic electronics were still fairly expensive, like, pretty dang expensive. Some stuff has changed in 50 years. It's impressive, to say the least. It's impressive what has changed in such a short amount of time. Or a relatively short amount of time. Like, in 16 years, we've come from this pretty barren looking flight simulator overall to new Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is a completely different story, you know, like, not really groundbreaking physics, but like groundbreaking graphics, the entire world modeled to scale 1-to-1 stuff. Like, it's impressive what we've done in 16 years. I mean, if you go 16 years before this, you hit what, like, earliest versions of Microsoft Flight Simulator, or like Microsoft Flight Simulator like 1.0, whatever it would have been called. Quite the difference. Also, I find it amusing how there's zero sound back here. You just got a little sound, and that's all. Then you go up here, and it's just completely different. Not a bad 737. It's just a shame Flight Simulator X has such limited physics. Like, it's just a bunch of default values, you know. Like there really ain't anything special to it. Whereas an X-Plane you got a ton of interesting stuff, like a ton of fancy physics and everything that change. You know, like actual simulated wind and stuff, which allow for like accurate turbulence and stuff. It's really impressive what X-Plane has. New Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's a little worse on physics.
Jacksonville Center, Beach, November 4283 Foxtrot with you. Beach, November 4283 Foxtrot, Jacksonville Center, Roger. Beach, 83 Foxtrot.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing right now. Or what to do right now. Gosh, it's already 12 o'clock.